Yo, what's up? Welcome inside the opening line. No Benny today. Got my man, the CEO, Rob, with me. Benny is fulfilling his civic duties, sitting on jury duty. Coming up today, we'll get you caught up from what happened in the NFL yesterday. Got the Major League Baseball World Series about to start. It will not include my New York Yankees. And then, obviously, we got the NBA coming up, so we'll do some totals, some team win totals. What up with you, Rob?
What's going on? So I'm curious what kind of juror Benny would be. You think he'll even get picked? You think he'll get pulled?
No, they wouldn't pick Benny.
No.
You don't know jury. Nah, he just sitting there, hurry up and wait. You know what I'm saying? I've been down there a lot. They always get me in an election year. I guess they just go through registered voters, whatever. They always get me in an election year, and it's always come sit down there for 2 or 3 hours or 7 or 8 hours, and then after that, they dismiss me.
Look, I got nervous one time. They got pulled for grand jury.
Oh.
And, man, I made it down to like the last 15 people, and I'm sweating, right? I'm like, oh, my God, how am I going to get out of here? How am I going to get out of here? And finally, luckily, they picked some other people because that's like once a week or some shit or once a month for like a year.
Yeah, no, that's no joke. My mom has been sequestered before.
Like, oh, shit. What was the trial?
I know, right? It was back in the day, some trial up in here in New York back in the day. But, yeah, that was crazy, too. She had to stay at the hotel and stuff like that. It was wild.
Damn.
Yep. All right, yesterday, for the most part, for me, yesterday was a shit show. I'll be honest with you. Let's get in here and start to talk about it. And a real big public team that I was off of yesterday. I've been calling myself the Falcons Whisperer because I've been getting money with the Falcons because I know the Falcons are terrible against the spread and have been since Dan Quinn has been there. Yesterday, I thought it was a game that they would win. And they just looked as terrible as they've looked all season yesterday, losing 37-10 to the Rams. Listen, I don't think Dan Quinn makes it past 5 p.m.
No, I don't know. I actually teased the Falcons yesterday up to 8. I guess I got it at 2. I think it closed at like 3, but
yeah.
I teased it up to 8. No go.
Yeah, it was not.
No go. Matty Ice, though, man, he's been on fire, and that team's looked great, and I thought they had a fighting chance as well.
I did too, but, the Rams come in there. Goff looks like a superstar again against this defense. I mean, we're talking about a team that's really basically quit, a team in disarray right here. One thing about the Falcons, they always score first. And then after that, it's just they didn't score again yesterday until late in the fourth quarter. Austin Hooper kept his streak going. Like you said, Matt Ryan, we're going to have to monitor that situation. He's normally 353 and 3 interceptions as well. But yesterday was a pitiful performance from Matt Ryan. The backup quarterback for the Falcons is Matt Schaub, formerly of the Houston Texans when they were Andre Johnson good. Right. When Matt Schaub got bad, I don't know if you remember this, he was throwing like pick sixes all the time.
Yeah,
that was his thing. One time, after one game, the fans in Houston got so mad with Matt Schaub, some fans marched up to his house. So I hope that doesn't happen this time in Atlanta with Matt Schaub, with fans showing up at his door. Another one from yesterday, the Bills and the Dolphins. The Bills get a 10-point win. So I was doing the show that I do for The Athletic with Matt Modica and Chris Vaccaro on Saturday morning. And Modica mentioned that the Bills team total was 28. And I was like, oh, my God, it's no way the Bills are ever going to get to 28 points. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So yesterday morning after I placed my bets, I went to go get me some breakfast, whatever. And as I'm walking, I'm thinking to myself, man, 28 points for the Bills. That's crazy. I should have played the under. And I'm like, why would they put Bills at 28 points? And then it hit me. They're expecting the Bills to score a defensive touchdown. And lo and behold, the last play of the game, the Bills scored a defensive touchdown.
So I had a big play on this game. I bet the Bills in all my survivor leagues. So I'm in 2. One massive one that's got I think it started at 1,400 teams and it's down to 200.
Wow.
And I've got 2 entries left. And I bet Buffalo at both of them. And in that first half, I said, well, fuck.
Yeah.
Here comes Fitzmagic. It's really going to happen. And so I was thankful to see them pull it out for sure.
The Bills continue to get it rolling. I believe, not my mistaken, they're coming up next. They got a showdown with the Eagles. I would be interested to see who's going to be the favorite in that game. because as we saw last night, Philadelphia doesn't look right. The Jaguars and the Bengals, Leonard Fournette has been a steal. If you invested in Leonard Fournette for fantasy purposes, he's been great so far this season. He's right up there with he's behind Christian McCaffrey, but after Christian McCaffrey, he's with everybody else that comes up there up top, the Dalvin Cooks and stuff like that.
Yeah.
As they as the Jaguars go into Cincinnati and get a win 27-17, it looks like nobody wants to play for the Bengals. AJ Green should be back next week, but why would he come back? You know what I'm saying?
Do you see AJ shaking his head? What was it, 2 weeks ago?
Yeah.
You were just on the sideline like, God, I got to come back to this?
Not playing for them. You know what I'm saying?
No.
They had the Cordy Glenn situation last week. Joe Mixon. The Bengals are on pace to be one of the worst rushing teams in NFL history. There's just nothing here.
For real?
Yeah, son. I heard that yesterday. It's pretty terrible in Cincinnati right now.
And Mixon's a decent back. I mean, I always thought he was
He can play, but it's just it's just no juice coming out this Bengal organization right now. They're going to be looking for a quarterback in the draft. As far as the Jaguars go, they get past the Jalen Ramsey thing. He's gone now. He's out the way. Fournette playing well. Minshew magic once again. But Nick Foles should be back in about 2 weeks.
Yeah, you like that?
Listen, I'm gonna play Nick Foles. I'm like, okay, Minshew, it was cool, whatever.
Yeah.
Magic, the mustache, the jean shorts, and all of that. All right, that was dope. But we put Nick Foles here for a reason. You know what I'm saying?
No, I'm all about Big Dick Nick. I thought Philly should have kept him. You know, if you watch Carson Wentz, what's happening there? Like,
no,
I mean, It's unbelievable. He made a couple nice throws last night, but he looks generally lost to me. I would have kept Nick, so I'm all about Nick Foles. I like it a lot. Him coming back.
I can imagine the sports talk radio in Philadelphia this morning is going to be upset that BDN is not there to bail them out again. The Vikings, I got to be honest with you, one of my big plays yesterday was the Lions. The Lions coming off that disappointment on Monday night. The Vikings coming off of beating up on a team not in the division. This is a spot where Kirk Cousins normally fails. On the road in the division. He was lights out yesterday, though. The Vikings put up 42. They beat the Lions 42-30. It took an L on that one, a bad L on that one. I really needed that one to come through for me. But Dalvin Cook, Steph Diggs, Kirk Cousins, they all get it done.
I was raking yesterday because I was all in Detroit, Minnesota over. Both of the quarterbacks was over. Those quarterbacks were slated for like 250 yards. And they both threw for 300 plus. So I was all over that game. But listen to this, Corey. So I was on Super Draft. By the way, go to Super Draft. It's really cool. Use code ELITE. But I was on Super Draft, right? And I was winning the 10K. That was the biggest contest. I was winning the 10K. I actually started Edmonds. What
made you do that?
Full disclosure, I built a shitload of lineups. I had Edmonds in, and I forgot to swap out after the news came out. So, sometimes it's better to be lucky than good, right?
No doubt.
But listen to this. So I was all in. So I had Diggs on the team. Diggs went for 66 on that one play, put up a bunch of yards, and I had the wrong Lions receiver, man.
Everybody was on Golladay, and it was Marvin Jones.
Golladay put up like 3 points for me or something. So wrong receiver, cost me 10K.
When me and Benny was on the live stream on Thursday night, we specifically talked about Golladay because we mentioned how Marvin Jones wasn't getting no work. Marvin Jones scores 4 touchdowns yesterday. The Kerryon Johnson dudes that's on Kerryon Johnson in season long. I've been watching his son play for a long time. He doesn't look right now. He's not running with any authority. So I don't know what the deal is. I don't know if he's injured or what the case may be, but Johnson doesn't look good. I think J.D. McKissick could be an interesting stash going down the stretch. The Raiders and the Packers. I like the Raiders in this game. I didn't bet it though. But the Packers destroyed them.
My quarterback on that team I was telling you about was A-Rod.
Nice job. People been
Weird day.
Aaron Rodgers this year, but he came through real big yesterday. Yeah,
no doubt. He looked like the Aaron Rodgers we were all used to seeing 2 seasons ago or however long ago it was. I mean, he had not been performing like the Aaron Rodgers that we all knew. And man, yesterday it just clicked.
6 touchdowns for Aaron Rodgers. Another heavily bet game yesterday was the Texans and the Colts. I was on the Colts side of this one of the few W's I got yesterday. The Colts get the win 30-23. The Colts just keep rolling. I like this Colts team. I knew they would be fine without Andrew Luck. Brissett's been steady. They run the football well. They play great defense. Shout out to Darius Leonard from the South Carolina State University. I didn't realize that. I was yesterday years old when I realized that me and him went to the same college. But now he's my homie. The Colts get a safety. I saw where somebody actually bet that too, that the Colts would get a safety.
Oh, for real?
Yeah, son. The Texans, they came out. They held it steady to the end. But obviously the Colts and their defense gets the win. What do you think of these two teams right here, the Colts and the Texans? Are the Colts the second best team in the AFC?
I don't know, but I really like what Brissett's doing. You know, his passing prop yesterday was like 250 as well, something like that. I think he threw 322. I know he went over to the passing prop. I think they look fantastic. I don't think they've, let me ask you this, Corey. So Andrew Luck retires out of nowhere beginning of the season. Everybody knew that this Colts team was good. Assuming Andrew Luck was in, they were going to be a contender. Do you think they've lost a step?
No, they look good. I think they would probably be hammering teams if Luck was out there. But this is just fine right here. It's no reason for this team to miss Andrew Luck. This is a team that's going to be playing in January.
Yeah, no doubt about it. They've got everything they need.
Yep, they're built well. They got a good head coach, a steady quarterback. They can run the football a little bit. They got some other pieces. T.Y. Hilton's one of the top playmakers. And I think the Texans will be playing pretty deep into the season too. But the Texans just can't get a running game going. And Bill O'Brien is not as good a head coach as Frank Reich is. Bill O'Brien is probably going to be that team's downfall at some point. I was on. Before I get to back to the NFL, Monkey Knife Fight. Can we play that in New York?
Yeah, you can play in New York.
I did not know that. Okay.
I've been smashing Monkey Knife Fight. I do a weekly show. The Monkey Knife Fight Dojo usually comes out Thursday, Friday. Depending if I got to play on the Thursday game, I'll release it Thursday morning. You want me to just say what it is real quick?
Yeah, sure.
So it's essentially prop betting, but it's legal everywhere because they do it in a way that's more like fantasy, but you're just betting on player props essentially. But yeah, dude, you got to get over there. I have just absolutely been annihilating it.
I gotta check it out. I'll probably load up on that joint.
Use code ELITE. You get a 100% bonus.
There you go, right there. So everybody, Monkey Knife Fight. So it's prop bets, but are you setting a lineup or are you just betting props?
So the way it works is the ones I play a lot of are they call them the over under, and you got to take two quarterbacks. So like I had Stafford over and Cousins over, right?
Okay.
Or you could bet the unders, or you could bet one over, one under. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I actually had Brissett in an over too. That's how I knew that one. Him and Watson both went over their passing totals.
Nice job. So I got to definitely get over there and check it out because any way to make a dime, I'm definitely about that. The Cardinals and the Giants. I was on the Cardinals all week. I didn't bet it. Kyler Murray, they come out, jump up on the Giants 14-0. Giants really don't get it turned around until later on in the game. The total in this one was interesting. I believe it was 49.5, and everybody was saying how much they loved the over, and it fell just short, right?
My biggest bet of the week was this under.
Oh, that was good. You hit the under on this one.
I hit the under. It was my biggest bet of the week. AZ New York Giants under 49.5.
Everybody was on the over.
For sure.
Yeah.
For sure they were.
Bet yesterday right there. So that was good that you got that one done. Saquon Barkley was back. Golden Tate. The Giants it just wasn't their day. They came out sloppy. Daniel Jones couldn't really get it going. The Cardinals come across the country and get a W. The 49ers and the DC football team. It was disgusting. Niners win the game 9-0. They don't cover the spread. They miss it by a half a point. Washington doesn't score at all in a sloppy, wet FedEx field that once again was filled with fans of the opposing team.
It's amazing, isn't it?
It's crazy.
Snyder's got to get. He's got to go.
I can see if you get a ton of Eagle fans. I can see if you get a ton of Cowboy fans. I can see
Baltimore
if Steelers. You bring a ton of Steeler fans in there. But 49er fans from the Bay Area.
The flight costs 3 times what the ticket costs.
Exactly. You know what I'm saying? And I'm just sitting up there. So last night, my son's mother called me. She had just dropped my boy back off on campus. and was telling me about all the crazy stuff he's doing. And I'm like, when I always tell him, when you get in trouble, it don't stop with you. It trickles down. You know what I'm saying? So, she was like, they were happy. They were like, oh, we wanted to play the Yankees. They live in Washington, D.C. We wanted to play the Yankees, but, we're playing Houston. But, they've never been to the World Series. So, they're happy for a chance to see their baseball team in the World Series. I asked her, well, what about your football team? And she said, I live in Maryland. I'm a now. People are turning their back on this D.C. football team, man.
Yeah, they have to. I mean, what choice do they have?
Yeah, it's bad.
We've seen this year after year after year. And how many signings did they have where they just dumped cash on the people and they never worked out?
And you start with Albert Haynesworth and just go back and take it from there. I used to live not too far from the stadium when I was out there. And I had this idea of we can charge people to park. You know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. Cheaper than the stadium, and they can walk to the stadium.
Right.
And I did some research on it. What I ended up finding out is you cannot walk up to the stadium. You have to get on a shuttle bus, or you have to ride into the stadium.
You've got to be kidding me.
Yes.
Why?
So you can pay.
Oh, it's just
even if you're not parking, you're paying some kind of fee.
But you physically can walk there if you
physically can. It's close enough to different areas where if people that live by there can walk there, right. But you cannot walk onto the complex. You have to go get on the shuttle bus, pay $30, and that's how you come in. Dan Snyder's been raping that fan base.
Ain't that some shit? I've never heard of such a thing in my entire life.
Crazy.
Usually when you're at a game, people are walking from all over, right?
Yep. Mm-hmm. But
that's crazy.
Everybody that comes in that parking lot has to pay. The Titans and the Chargers, I've been losing money betting on the Titans, so I laid off this one. They would win this week, 23-20. The Chargers are 2-5 now. I don't think they can rebound. Melvin Gordon doesn't look good. I'm still playing Eckler. The Titans got to win with Ryan Tannehill. But my thing is, you benching Mariota to bring in Tannehill. Tannehill ain't shit.
No, I mean, what are you really doing there? And Mariota stinks. Let's be honest.
Yeah,
he's not a good quarterback. He's been a problem for that team for years. But I mean, what are you replacing the man with?
Ryan Tannehill. Yeah, it's like, come on now, we gotta do better than that.
Derrick Henry's a beast, though.
Yeah, no, he continues to get it done. Derrick Henry, you gotta like the way he is running. He's an Alabama running back that actually worked out. The Saints and the Bears, another one of my losses yesterday. I really was heavy on the Bears. I should have known better than putting money on MVP Mitch, as Michael Lombardi calls him. Luckily I didn't play it as big as I wanted to play it because Mitchell Trubisky scares me. I think he stinks. But the Saints just come into Chicago and walk all over this team.
Now look, I had the Saints. You got to follow me. So I had the Saints plus 3.5, and then I actually teased them up, but you know who I teased them with? The damn Falcons.
Yeah. Sorry about that. That one right there stung. You know what? The Saints were real public yesterday. That's why I didn't like it. But October has been a month where we've seen some heavy public teams get W's.
Well, what do you think about this Lat Murray coming in? Looked good yesterday.
It looked good. He ran the football well. Listen, Teddy Bridgewater held the fort down, controlled that team while Drew Brees was out. I believe Brees can be back and return next week. If this team goes deep into the playoffs or maybe goes to the Super Bowl or wins the championship this year, they're going to owe Teddy Bridgewater a lot because he's the highest paid backup quarterback in the NFL.
5-0 without Drew, right?
Exactly, and I guess it's why he is the highest paid backup quarterback in the NFL. Listen, the offense is real simple. It's yesterday it was Lat Murray and Michael Thomas play good defense, and then just let the rest handle itself.
Yeah, no, they look great.
No, they're playing good ball. I'm not a Saints guy because the fan base is crazy. But shout out to the Saints, they look good. The Ravens and the Seahawks. I should have bet this one. I really liked the Ravens yesterday. Lamar Jackson went crazy again, running the football more so than passing. I believe he ran for 116 yards and a touchdown. Russell Wilson solid, also throwing for 241 in the touch. But the Ravens go to the Pacific Northwest and get a big-time road victory. As a Steeler fan, you must not like this.
No, I'm pissed off. I'm pissed about this game about 3 different ways because I had the over 49. That didn't work out.
Missed it.
That didn't work out. And then the Ravens just winning. So I was at the Ravens-Steelers game 2 weeks ago or something. And actually somebody hooked me up with sideline passes. So I was right down there and we were walking by the Ravens, and Hollywood is standing there, right?
Yeah.
And some crazy ass Steelers fan yells from the seats, "Nice fucking family, Hollywood." For those that don't know, Hollywood Brown is Antonio Brown's cousin, and they were just shitting on this man.
That's crazy. Yeah, the Browns.
He got hurt that game too.
The Brown family from Dade County. Everybody in Dade County is a little bit loose, but hopefully Hollywood, at young in his career,
yeah,
he be all right. And when he get paid, though, he gonna go crazy.
He didn't say shit. He turned around though and looked. But
I know. I mean, his his cousin has been a shit show this year. You know what I'm saying? Finally, last night, the Cowboys and the Eagles. It was my last chance. So I got down on the Cowboys a little bit, not a lot. Sneaker money for the most part. And the Cowboys, they get it done. One thing about the Cowboys is they know how to beat the teams in the NFC East. They struggle with everybody else, though.
Look, man, I was tweeting last night that the Cowboys redid both sides of their playbook. They ran some stuff on offense, that little swing out the Jarwin where he was wide open. And somebody said he was probably the most wide open receiver in the history of football. I don't know if that's true or not, but the man –
Chris Collinsworth said that. Me and my brother-in-law got to laugh out of that.
You got to look that up. But the man was wide open. There was just a perfectly designed play. Everybody thought Zeke was coming up the gut. And then on defense, some of the schemes that they were running were really confusing the Eagles. I mean, they looked lost on offense. I think it was a lot to do with the Dallas defense. I
think Dallas defense was challenged throughout the course of the week because that's the best they've played all season. Now the Cowboys get a bye. One thing I wasn't really tripping this is me talking as a fan now. I wasn't really tripping off that 3-game losing streak because, even though everybody is talking about Jason Garrett right now, one thing about Jason Garrett, he's had winning streaks of double-digit winning streaks 2 times in his career. So the Cowboys can put together a long winning streak. I'm not worried about that. But speaking of Jason Garrett, and one of my people that know me, one of my favorite people to talk about is the former head coach of the Florida Gators and the Ohio State Buckeyes, one Urban Liar, as I call him. Urban Liar was on Colin Cowherd I believe it was either Thursday or Friday. I don't know, this is pretty low class to me. They asked Urban Meyer, did he think Lincoln Riley, who is the head coach of at Oklahoma, would be interested in the Dallas Cowboy job? Rumors are that if Jason Garrett is let go at the end of the season, that Lincoln Riley would be the guy that the Dallas Cowboys want to replace Jason Garrett. Mm-hmm. Well, when they asked Urban Meyer said, well, I haven't spoke to Lincoln about it, but that's like the Yankees. The Cowboys wanted the premier job in sports, you know what I'm saying? I couldn't see how anybody that wasn't in that position wouldn't have interest in that position. Then he goes on to say, I know I would sure be interested in it. And I'm thinking to myself, yo, dude, son, Urban, first of all, ain't you supposed to be sick? That's why you quit at Ohio State, number
Twice.
1.
That's why he left Florida.
Exactly. But Florida was the heart. Ohio State was was something with your brain. Now, all of a sudden, a year later, you sticking your name in the ring to be the Dallas Cowboy head coach when the Cowboys already have a coach, Rob. I thought that was real low class. You know what I'm saying?
When I saw that shit, I said, that is Urban Meyer right there. Yes. That is who he is right there.
That is 100% my man, Urban Meyer, always looking to one-up somebody. Tomorrow night, we get the World Series started. Unfortunately, it will not be my New York Yankees. The Houston Astros are just a better baseball team than the Yankees. A popular topic up here this week, I ask you your opinion on it. A year ago, when the Yankees could have got Garrett Cole, they would have had to give up Miguel Andujar, who was on a Rookie of the Year type pace at that time. And the Yankees turned it down. Hindsight being 2020, that looks like a mistake. But if you think back to last year, Andujar was balling, and Cole wasn't the pitcher that he is now.
Well, I'm a Pirates fan, and I watched the entire trajectory of Garrett Cole's career. And when he left Pittsburgh and went to the Astros, people that aren't in the know might not remember, he was not this guy. Exactly. I mean, he was a workhorse. He would eat up innings. He can go deep in the games, throw hard, all that kind of shit. but he was not this pitcher. Okay. Garrett Cole added a pitch to his arsenal. And whatever they put in the water for the pitchers in Houston, HGH, whatever it is, whatever they put in the water there, it is working. And when they show up, you saw this with Charlie Morton, who's not there anymore. But when Charlie Morton went there, my God, he became an absolute all-star. So whatever they're doing in Houston to the pitchers matters. So I'll say this to your point about the Yankees is you don't know what kind of pitcher Garrett Cole might have been if he went to the New York Yankees. We know what kind of pitcher he is at Houston, who has a track record at this point of making guys a much, much better. So you don't know what you would have got if he went to New York.
And that's the thing, the Yankee fans, and then you got to think, we got a generation of spoiled Yankee fans that are getting older now. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. And they're like, what the hell is going on? Houston's a better baseball team. There's nothing wrong with the Yankees. Houston's a better team. The Yankees are going to have to start developing pitchers. They need more Severinos, you know what I'm saying, to come up out that organization and develop them and get them coached up, because the greatest bullpen ever created is not going to do anything when you have, when you can't expect James Paxton to go pitch for pitch with Garrett Cole. You feel what I'm saying?
You know what I hate about Yankees fans?
I'm interested.
is their answer, the Yankees fans' answer is always go buy somebody.
Yeah, go buy it. Yep.
Like, right. Look what Atlanta did this year. They did that from the bottom up and grew these players into – now, they knew what they had, and they did some strategic trades. But what I'm saying is if you play the long game a little bit, it pays off for you. And all the Yankees want to do is win this World Series and, go buy it.
Yep, and you haven't been able to buy a starting pitcher the past couple of years. Adding Zach Britton and all of that, that's cool, but, you got to get there first. But this year we got an interesting one. We got my National League team, the Washington Nationals. Shout out to them, that fan base right there. They're real hungry. They get the series starts tomorrow night. We got Nationals and Astros, Sergio and Cole on the mound. What do you think of Game 1, and what do you think of the series?
So I bet Houston pre-World Series or pre-playoffs plus 190, which was a bad price. Weeks before that, you could have got him for like plus 250.
Okay.
But my boy, shout out MLB Dream. My man went up 105 units this year betting baseball. He might be up more than that after these playoffs. Talked me into privately to betting on the Nats. It was 2,200, I think.
Yeah.
I dropped lunch money on it, but at 2,200, it's real. So I'm actually holding both sides of this game. Houston certainly smaller, but plus only 190. But as far as the series go, Nationals have a tough road, man. I mean, I'm excited about these pitching matchups. Who'd you say is going tomorrow? Verlander, Strauss? Cole Strauss.
Scherzer and Cole.
Oh, Scherzer, Cole, yeah. So that's, that's one of the most exciting matchups for a baseball fan to watch that happen. But if Verlander, or I'm sorry, if Strauss or if Scherzer can beat Cole, you've got a fighting chance. If Cole cruises, then you're just going right into Verlander and, down on the Greinke and you're done.
The thing about the Nationals is you got to hope that they're like a Cinderella team that gets hot. If you want to lay Houston on the series, it's going to cost you $2.40. If you like the Nats, you get them at plus 200 for the series.
Wow. Yeah, I wouldn't bet either of those, Corey.
I don't blame you, because if I want the Nats a little bit more than that if I was going to bet the Nats. As far as total games, a sweep is plus 600. 5 games is 260. 6 games is 195. A game 7 is plus 210, and that's how we look on that one right there. But it looks like this is it looks like it's the Houston Astros, but that gets kicked off tomorrow night. Speaking of MLB Dream, I don't handicap baseball. Like I just can't get deep enough into it. But so I'm spending the summer playing stupid shit like WNBA and MLS soccer and shit like that. You know what I'm saying? I had a couple of leans on WNBA.
La Liga.
Yeah, and then what was that big Tottenham joint?
Yeah, Tottenham. Yeah.
Yeah, then I had Tottenham on the ticket by accident, and 2 minutes into the match, they were down 2-0. So that kind of was my summer. But what I did learn over the summer is yourself and Dream, and Dream lives
DC.
in DC, not too far from where my son went to high school at, as a matter of fact. And his team totals was hitting at a ridiculous rate this year. Did you notice that?
Oh yeah, it was ridiculous. He didn't break out his team totals, but the man is he went 24-13 in the playoffs for 12 units, and listen to his season: 738 to 561.
That's crazy.
That's ridiculous. But his team totals were popping at just an insane clip. I have to say it's probably 65-70%.
I remember I needed to go one of the fantasy events. It was in Canton, Ohio this year. It's called the Kings Classic. And Jeff was like, he wasn't gonna go, that I could have his spot. But I had to hustle up some bread right quick to get out there, you know what I'm saying? And all I did was for like a good 8 days, just played Dreams baseball picks. And at the end of the 8th day, I just cashed out and hopped on it, played for the ticket, and went to Canton, you know what I'm saying? Just like that.
No, the man had an incredible season.
Nah, he did his thing. All right, speaking of seasons, we got basketball coming up right now. Before we start to talk about some of these team totals, I want to ask you and have you break it down, since you are the head honcho, the man with the real estate. What's the deal coming up this DFS season? What kind of content and coverage can we expect on Elite Fantasy, as far as what subscribers can look forward to when it's time to get down on some daily DFS basketball? Because a lot of people that know that's big DFS heads say that basketball is probably their favorite DFS sport.
Yeah, I mean, basketball, for me, I'm a baseball bettor as well, but for me, I love betting basketball totals. I went up 35 units last basketball season.
That's
so
good.
Yeah, NFL or NBA totals are kind of my thing. I bet sides as well, certainly more totals. But over at Elite Fantasy, we got the boys Draft Cheat and Benny and Brian Healy, who for my money are as good, if not better, than anyone in the industry. But we do daily live shows. I run the optimizer, so all of the projections come out of my basketball model. You can get over there now, $249 for the entire season. If you buy that, you get a free shirt. They're pretty sweet too. And
I'm gonna send you my address so I can so you can.
I'll send you a code. You get a free shirt. Just go on the website, and then you get $50 off NBA betting. So you can get NBA betting for $199. And I'm telling you, it is a great time. We sweat totals in the chat and that kind of stuff. So get over there and check it out. You won't be disappointed this season.
No doubt. And you got a promo code for that?
I do. Just for the opening line. Rob20. Use Rob20. You get 20%. Save yourself a few bucks. Get over there and cash with us all season.
All right, there you go right there. All right, here we go. Me and Benny went through some of these last week, but I'm going to run a couple past you. One of the ones that we talked about right off the rip, I don't know if it's moved since we got the Zion news out yet, or that he'll be missing a few weeks to start the season. But the Pelicans are an interesting team. They come in at 37.5. If Zion was healthy for the whole stretch, I would have liked the over. Being that I don't know what Zion is, I'm kind of like neutral on it right now. What do you think? Because my guess is until Zion drops some of that baby fat off of him, he's going to continue to have these little aches and pains like this.
Yeah, so I was actually working on the Pelicans right before we got on this show in my NBA betting model. But so I'm making their team total for tomorrow 110, which gives, it's about 3 points off market. So market has their team total at 113 or something for tomorrow. I'm at 110. So what I'm wondering is, how much am I assessing the Zion situation correctly in my numbers? I think I am. They'll be hard pressed, to beat that team total. I'm probably really close to it. I can look. I'm one game under. But right now I'm a little more bearish on the Pels than it looks like the market is. So
let me ask you that. That's interesting as far as you said for tomorrow. What I did with tomorrow was I was on the Pelicans at plus 5.5. And then when Zion news came out, the Raptors went to -6. The Raptors are now laying 6.5. Without Zion, I kind of flipped to I like that Pelicans -6.5. I like the Raptors now.
So I made this game -7.
So that's it, right?
Yep. Yeah, and when I removed Zion, that, like I said, they went down about 3 points on their team total. So I would have had them at a 4 with Zion playing. So I agree with your assessment. I don't want to lay 7 on this one though.
Yeah, it's tough. But it's opening night, and I'm undisciplined. But
bet that under. What I like is the under. I think it's at 231.5 now. Now, granted, you Zion's defense, you could say that would be missed, but I like slight lean under 231.5.
That's interesting. I'll get down on that one too. I'm cool with that. We just mentioned the Raptors. Their season wins are at 46.5.
Yeah, I'm under.
Yeah,
and not by much. I got 44 for the season on them, but you can get under at plus money actually.
Now you really can. I'm looking at FanDuel Sportsbook right now, and the
What's it at?
Is at plus 100. It's even money. So there you go. You can double that one up straight. The Lakers are interesting always. I think people were kind of skeptical on the Lakers over the summer when they didn't make the big splash. Everybody kind of knew that Rich Paul had figured out a way to steer Anthony Davis there. You figure a healthy LeBron, you knew pieces were going to be missing with that trade with the Pelicans. But when the Clippers made the big splash, the Clippers immediately became the favorite. What I'm noticing is after people have seen some preseason games, especially with LeBron running the point, we're starting to see a lot more people say, you know what, maybe the Lakers are the best team in the Western Conference. Their team total sits at 51.5.
I'm going to do you one better. I would bet the over on the Clippers and the Lakers.
Okay.
I like the over on both of them. They'll eat into each other some, but they're going to go out there and just dominate other teams. I look forward to the matchups because, I just think they're going to have some incredible games against each other. But I like the over on both.
Would you put the Warriors in the conference finals?
This is a tricky one, right? Probably yes. I'm going to have what I'm going to tell you.
Because their team total is 47.5.
Yeah, and I'm at 50.
Okay. They won't get Clay back until and you can get that over 47 at plus money too. They won't get Clay has already been ruled out until the All-Star break. You'll probably see Clay after the All-Star break. I like the addition of D'Angelo Russell. I don't think they move him. Like a lot of people were speculating they'll probably move him at some point. I think he stays. I think he brings the youth to that situation. I think Jordan Poole is going to be a player to get some minutes this year also. I think Willie Cauley-Stein was also a good signing for them. They're a champion. They know what they're going to do. Everybody has the Western Conference Finals as Clippers and Lakers. I think the Warriors find a way to sneak in there.
Yeah, I mean, I would feel comfortable. What's the conference odds you got in front of
you? For the Warriors, hold on one second. Do they have futures? Hold on one second. Western Conference winner, the Warriors are plus 900.
See, I mean, I would be more than happy to take that for half a play or something. I mean, if you're going to bet 100, bet $50 on it. I think it's I think it's decent value there at that number.
Yeah, no, I would agree with you on that. It's Clippers at 200, Lakers at 270, Rockets at 500. The Rockets are not going to win the Western Conference.
What do you think about that Rockets situation?
I think it's going to be very fun to watch on television. I think it is. I think it's going to have its moments where offensively they look like a great offensive team. But I think in the bigger the moments are, the bigger the situations get, I think the problem is going to be Russell Westbrook. I think Russell Westbrook is a stat-driven player who is trying to go for triple-doubles, who's trying to, stat his pass. That doesn't do anything for the bottom line of the team, and I think he's going to bring that with him. He's going to play a lot with that second unit. He won't be on the field a lot with Harden. He'll run that second unit, and he's going to shoot them out of games.
And do you think you'll see any drama out of that situation?
Probably not, because the players like each other too much. If anything, the drama will, if anybody catches it, it'll be Rudy, it'll be the coach.
Yeah, I agree. Expectations are high there.
And
from a DFS perspective, I love Russell Westbrook. But from a pure, just player perspective, he's not great for a team.
No, that type of basketball is not going to win. And listen, I think he's a great player, but it's not going to happen. Here's an interesting team: the Indiana Pacers. FanDuel has them plus 100 over 46.5.
Yeah, I'll take that at even money. I'm at 47.5, so I've only got a game over, but I would bet that for even money. I think the Pacers, I like Depot. He's back, right?
If he can get back at some point, that'd be good. They add a couple of pieces too. I'm looking at the fact that they play in the Eastern Conference makes it a little bit easier for them to get to that number. I think they could. I kind of want to see them first, but they're well coached. They play good defense, and the pieces fit nicely.
They added Brogdon and McDonald.
Yep, they added Brogdon, and I think Brogdon is a good piece. I think he's a solid player that will work for them. The Celtics is an interesting team to me this year too. Their team total sitting at 48.5. You know what? I think they're a better team with Kemba Walker than they are with Kyrie Irving. That's what I think.
I agree. And I like Tatum and I like Brown. I totally agree with this. I've got them at 50 wins.
Yeah, I think they can win 50 games also. I give you one more. The Miami Heat. No, let me give you two more. The Miami Heat and the Dallas Mavericks.
Let's start with the Mavs. So what do you see their win total at? It's like 40 and a half.
I clicked off it. Hold on one second.
But Porzingis is there now, right? You got Doncic and Porzingis.
Yep. The Mavericks win total is I just had that shit.
I think it's 40 and a half.
40 and a half, yeah.
I don't mind a stab at the over. I've got it at 42.
Okay.
So I don't mind a stab at the over. I think the over is juiced. You might see it at minus 125.
Yep.
So, but I think it'll be an exciting team to watch. I'm excited about it. Dallas continuing their long tradition of having solid big men. It'll be interesting.
The Miami Heat, JB's in town now. Jimmy Butler. I love the kid Tyler Hero. 44 and a half.
Looks like that got bet up some. The last I looked at the number was 43 and a half. So it looks like it must have got bet up some. I'm a Jimmy Buckets fan, so
JB, that's my guy.
Yeah, I'm a Jimmy Buckets fan. I think I'll say 44 is fair. I'm not really interested in betting one way or the other on him.
Yeah, no doubt. Right quick before we get out of here, I give you a couple of MVP nods. The favorite is Giannis at 270. Next up is Steph Curry at 500. Then comes Anthony Davis at 750. James Harden 750. LeBron James 850. Davis and James won't play enough games to be the MVP, in my opinion. I think Curry at plus 500 is solid. But I like Nikola Jokic because he's going to play enough games at plus 1,100. And I also think the very interesting one is Kemba Walker at plus 5,000.
Ooh.
The rest of the cats, like Kawhi Leonard's not going to play enough games. Joel Embiid can easily win the award, but he won't play enough games either. Paul George will not play enough games either. That's how I can't. The guys that will have the games played will be Antetokounmpo, Curry, Walker. Harden will probably play enough games, and I think Jokic will play enough games also. But Kawhi Leonard, Anthony Davis, LeBron James are not going to play enough games, in my opinion, to be MVP.
I think Giannis, I hate to be this guy, but I think they added some nice pieces around him that's going to up his game. I feel like people have been looking for this guy's regression, and it's just not coming. This is the player that he is, and his team got better. So I think, I hate to be the square, but I think Giannis is a solid bet here for this title.
All right, there you go right there.
Let me ask you a question real quick before we bounce.
No doubt.
Give me that Brooklyn situation.
Oh, God. I'm not a fan. You listen, it's interesting. They were a very good team last year. They kind of came on the scene a little bit out of nowhere. I think the fact that Kyrie Irving and Kevin Durant went there shows you what kind of team they are. Those two players like that, they want to be around a good organizational structure, and they have that. And these are players that want to be able to not play every night. And the Nets became an attractive team to them because, well, Durant's not going to play at all, but Kyrie doesn't have to play every night because they already got pieces there. If you went to the Knicks, you got to play every night. You know what I'm saying? Or else they're not going to win. But a team like Brooklyn can hold down the fort for some games, a couple games a season. Oh, God, I hate to say it, but I think they're a top 5 team in the Eastern Conference this year. And I think you see them in the second round. You could possibly see them in the second round of the playoffs. The Brooklyn Nets are New York basketball.
When do they get KD?
Next season. They'll start next season with Kevin Durant.
Yeah. So I'm a big Kyrie fan. I'm a Cleveland Cavs fan, so I liked what he did there with Braun. A lot of people hate him for it. But anyway.
What he did with LeBron was he did the right thing. Because my thing was, I'm not going to sit here and let you leave me with Tristan Thompson and J.R. Smith. You know what I'm saying?
For real. Yeah.
What he was going to do. Let me get out of here before you sit me here with these jackasses. You know what I'm saying?
He knew what was going to happen.
Yeah, so I know. I think he made the right move, and I think LeBron would agree with that too. But no, Rob, good looking out on. You might be back again tomorrow if Benny is still doing jury duty.
That fucker better not get picked. He did say some crazy shit in there.
All right, for my main man, Rob, is Corey Parson, the fantasy executive, the opening line. We out.